Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast about a Nazi child masturbating in the bathroom. I'm Dan O'Keefe, and joining me as always is Anna Otto. Hi, Anna. How are you?
Hearing you say that was almost as jarring as it was when it was mentioned in the movie the first time. Dan, I'm okay. While we were away, I did a moonshine tasting, and I forgot to tell you about this.
Yeah, this is news to me.
So while I was in Tennessee last week, I did a moonshine tasting. Dan, I've never been so drunk so fast in my life. It was really scary.
Does moonshine taste good?
So here's the thing. What they do is they start you off with the plain moonshine so that you scream. They literally said, do your Ric Flair scream now that you've done your shot of plain moonshine. And I did. Okay. I did a nice woo! And then after that, I kind of had to rely on the voice of others because I wasn't sure what Ric Flair sounded. But then after that, we went right into like flavors, and I couldn't tell if it was because I was drunk or because they actually tasted good, but like they had some moonshine, like this lemonade one that was really yummy. Like I want to mix it with iced tea. That's how yummy it was.
Now, is that the case of it's actually yummy, or you're 5 shots of moonshine deep?
I don't know, Dan. We're going to find out soon.
And
I'm scared.
The strawberry lemonade Svedka would taste yummy at that point.
Oh, God. I did a shot of strawberry lemonade Svedka this weekend. Listen, I was at a bachelorette party, so let's be honest. Who doesn't drink a lot when they're at bachelorette parties? And the reason why I took this Svedka was, even though I knew it was going to taste horrible, I knew nobody could see how much I drank out of the bottle. So,
that's why that's why I bring Malibu everywhere.
Malibu? People would know, because they'd be like, Anna doesn't like coconut. Why is she lying? I'd be like, oh, crap, I've been caught. Malibu, Dan.
I like Malibu. I like coconut.
That kind of doesn't surprise me that you like a tropical flavor.
Absolutely. I love every tropical drink. I was on a cruise. Frozen margaritas.
Yep, I was just going to say, what about like a daiquiri?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, daiquiris are good. But then it doesn't even feel like you're drinking. It just feels like those are dangerous, because suddenly the cup's empty, I'm drunk.
That's not usually
How are you?
That's not usually an issue that I have.
Yeah, that's fair.
In order for me to like a drink, it needs to be so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That I can't drink a ton of it.
Almost. Oh, that's fair. See, I don't know. Gin and tonic's my favorite, and that's like the opposite of sweet.
No, that's gross.
Yo, you want to know something nuts that I learned today?
Yes.
Tonic water has properties that can protect you from malaria. I could just roll up into Africa right now. I've drank so much tonic water because I like gin and tonics.
You know, I don't think that you could, but I'd like to see you try.
If I rolled up to Africa, the mosquitoes would be like, whoa, she's unstoppable.
If you showed up in Africa, did you ever watch the Nickelodeon movie Clock Stoppers from the early 2000s about these high school kids who find a watch that allow them to what they think is stop time or make time move very slowly?
Okay.
So
go on.
At the end of it, one of the guys realizes that it isn't time moving super slowly. They're moving super fast. And he figures out a way to like harness the power of time. And using his Casio digital watch, he does it, and he starts like glowing and hovering above people. That's what you would look like to the mosquitoes.
I feel like I'm hallucinating right now with this description. Like,
it's a real movie, and that really happens.
I don't even know what to say right now. I really don't.
Well, guess what? This episode, we're changing the movie we're talking about. We'll be talking about the 2002 American science fiction action comedy Clock Stoppers.
Simply cannot wait. Thank you so much, Dan.
This was released in theaters. I thought it was just a TV movie. No. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I could tell you about that I could sell you on with this.
The woman is too stunned to speak right now. Like, I don't even know where to begin, if I'm being honest with you.
French Stewart is in it.
Oh, okay. I know French Stewart.
Okay.
Big fan.
He plays the scientist.
Okay.
Michael Biehn from The Terminator.
Oh, I don't really care for The Terminator.
Well, there goes that one.
I don't... That's all I have to say.
That's about it. That's about the one connection I could give you.
Wow. Riveting.
Oh, the movie was directed by one of the cast members of Star Trek The Next Generation and the host of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction.
Huh. Okay.
You'd recognize him. Anyway, we're very off topic.
Yup. I'm glad we're here.
We made it. We haven't recorded in weeks on our weekly podcast.
My mom literally texted me. She's like, "Are you still doing the podcast?" I was like, "Yes, except Dan and I are both so freaking busy right now." God.
Whatever.
Ugh.
Whatever.
It's not like we're getting married or something.
Now to clarify, we are not getting married.
Not to each other.
I am marrying an Anna, and you are marrying a bastard.
Oh my god. Whoa. I don't know what I was expecting, but that's the drama.
You're marrying my enemy.
Mm-hmm. Gage and Dan hate each other.
Yeah, personally.
Arch nemesis, honestly.
It's just his vibe.
I get it. I also hate his vibe.
I'm
marrying him as part of a bigger plan.
Oh boy.
Wink.
Anyway, the movie we're talking about today is Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
Released in 2019, written and directed and produced by Rian Johnson, starring Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Stanfield, Catherine Langford, Jaden Martell, and Christopher Plummer.
I'd like to open just by saying, did you know that I love, and I mean love, Michael Shannon?
I didn't, honestly. I'm happy for you.
I love Michael Shannon. I was really excited because I forgot he was in this movie, and so I turned to Gage and I slapped him and I said, "Why didn't you tell me Michael Shannon was in this?" And he goes, "I did." And I was like, "I don't think so." Because he was on Boardwalk Empire, and I love Boardwalk Empire, and I think he's a good actor. Thank you, the end.
I would like to ask you, how old do you think Michael Shannon is?
Well, he has kind of a weathered face. But I also feel like that's just kind of his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like he looks like someone that life has been hard on, but clearly life hasn't been super hard because he's, like, a successful actor.
Okay.
So I'm going to say 57.
He is 48.
I'm sorry, Michael.
He was born in 1974.
Oh my god, I knew you were going to say something wackadoodle. Dang it. Sorry, Michael. I still love your performance. God, he's jacked up in Boardwalk Empire. It's crazy. You should definitely watch that show. Maybe not you, but like the royal you. Listener.
The dear listener, you should watch Boardwalk Empire.
Absolutely.
With a budget of $40 million, it made $311.9 million at the box office. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 97% approval rating.
Amazing.
Knives Out sharpens old murder mystery tropes with a keenly assembled suspense outing that makes brilliant use of writer-director Rian Johnson's stellar ensemble.
I think I told you this, but I can't remember. Did I tell you that the year this came out, I really wanted to see it, and Gage was going home for Thanksgiving, and I said, okay, don't see this movie while you're gone, because I want to see it together when you come back. And he comes home and he goes, guess what I saw on Thanksgiving? And I said, you fucking bitch. Trauma.
You can't trust
It wasn't
anyone.
his fault, though. He didn't pick it, but I will literally for the longest time I was like, I'm never watching that movie because you saw it without me. I love drama.
At the 92nd Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Original Screenplay. Do you know what it lost to?
Oh, 90s. What year was this? 20...
This movie came out in 2019.
Let's go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's the right year.
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was also nominated. It did not win, though.
Okay. What one?
Parasite.
Ah, frick. I thought that was 2020 for some reason. Probably because
The
of
Oscars were
pandemic.
in 2020, but it came out in
Oh,
2019.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, I will argue.
That was a good year.
Yeah.
Good year for movies.
2019, the last great movie year. We've had some good movie years, but 2019 was banger after banger after banger.
Mm-hmm. We were truly blessed before the fall of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They, didn't realize it, but they were giving us good things to watch during the pandemic.
And Joker.
How dare you? Don't... What's the line from Harry Potter that's like, you don't deserve to say his name? Like...
At the Golden Globes, it was nominated for 3 awards: Best Musical or Comedy, Best Actor, and Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. It lost all 3.
Okay.
It lost Best Actor to Taron Egerton for Rocket Man.
Okay, honestly, period. Like, I loved that movie.
Actress to Awkwafina for The Farewell.
Oh, I like Awkwafina, but that's weird.
I liked The Farewell. She was good in it, but...
no offense to her, like, she's fine. Like, I think she's a good actress, but I don't know that I thought she was, like, Oscar worthy, but...
she's Golden Globe worthy.
Oh, wait.
Very
Is
different.
she? Sorry, everyone.
These are the Golden
My
Globes.
mistake.
And it lost Best Musical or Comedy to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I never saw that movie, but I know a lot of people really liked it. Quentin Tarantino is hit or miss for me.
I watched it on the plane ride back from Alaska, and let me tell you,
Was it good?
Oh, I've seen it 100 times.
I was gonna say, I feel like you saw it when it was in theaters.
I saw it when it was in theaters the day it came out, and then 2 days later, and then a third time in theaters. And I will see
Dear
it again.
God. You're a Quentin stan.
No, I'm just a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stan.
Are you saying I should watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
You
I'll
will
watch it
enjoy
for
it.
you.
The ending will be hit or miss for you,
Okay.
depending
I'm
on
scared,
how
but
much
okay.
you like absurd violence.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay.
What's the correct answer here?
Hope you like it.
Oh, no. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can't wait.
When was the first time you saw Knives Out?
I just mentioned to you about my deep grief and displeasure for Gage after he decided to cheat on me with his family. So the first time I ever saw Knives Out was 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh. You held a grudge for 4 years?
Dan, I literally have a picture on my phone. Where is it?
What do you do? It sounds like you're knocking over your desk.
I knocked over a water bottle loudly near the microphone. I took a screenshot of something that really resonated with my soul, and I feel like it's perfect for this specific moment.
Okay.
It was a picture of some frog stickers that I found. Where is it? I know it's in here. Come on. It literally, I've never seen anything more perfectly related to my soul.
Frog stickers?
Sorry. Yeah, it was a sticker pack, and they were all frogs.
Okay.
And it said, did I take a picture of it? Did I send it to... There it is. I believe in holding grudges. I'll heal in hell. That's me. I mean, I know that's, like, unhealthy or whatever, but, like, not for me.
There is a tweet from Drill, Wint, whatever. And it is... If the zoo bans me for hollering at the animals, I will face God and walk backwards into hell.
Amen.
That feels like your vibe.
Literally my vibe. Listen, I'm gonna hold a grudge. One thing about me, I'm gonna hold a grudge. I can't even say it. Yeah.
First time I saw Knives Out was probably right around Thanksgiving 2019. I went with Gage.
That was
and his
triggering
family.
of you. That was triggering for me, but okay, thanks.
It was I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I think I saw it twice in theaters because I saw it with Rome, our friend, and then I saw it with my family. And I've seen it since then. This has become a cable TV staple.
Is it really?
Oh boy, does either Freeform or FX or TNT or whoever has the rights to it. This is absolutely a movie you would want to air all the time because you could just drop in and get hooked. Doesn't matter where you come in.
Okay. I mean, that's fair because, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I want to say here. I saw Glass Onion first, and I loved Glass Onion, and I was like, didn't really know what to expect for this. I really liked it a lot. It is a really good, like, you don't need to be super paying attention. Like, it reminds me of playing a game of Clue.
Yes.
Because it's like, if you mess up and you repeat something, everybody's just going to go, "Aw," but they're not going to be like, "You fucking idiot, you messed the game up."
Does that happen with other games that you play?
Not to me personally, but, you know, I play games with some pretty intense people, so. Just saying.
Well, also, the fact that you don't need to pay all that much attention still makes it a cable TV hit. That's the ideal cable TV movie.
Yeah, you can just pop it on, fall asleep, wake back up. You still know what's going on.
It's like Ford versus Ferrari, a movie I keep bringing up.
How dare you? Why do you keep mentioning that movie? It's dull.
I keep trying to describe the ideal dad movie. I was talking about Air recently.
I want to see that movie. We were talking about it at work.
It's good. It's such a dad movie.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be good, like, in general.
Yes. I'm saying dad movies are good.
Oh, okay, just making sure. Not all dad movies are good. Have you heard of every part of the Bourne Ultimatum trilogy except for the part where Matt Damon's washing hair?
You know, I might have. I need to go back and listen to our podcast.
Amen.
What are you doing? It sounds like you're in the middle of moving.
I thought I muted myself.
You did, but then you unmuted. It was loud when you unmuted.
Oh, sorry. It's because my water bottle. I have a cold, so I sound a little gross. Hang on.
What is... The background noises should not be because of your cold.
I'm just sneezing and coughing on everything.
Well, keep it on. We can sell it as OnlyFans content.
Only snot. That's me.
Oh, boy. Let's get into the movie.
Let's do it.
There's been a murder! Almost. There will be a murder.
Everyone's shook.
Anyway, Christopher Plummer is dead. He is Harlan Thrombey, a wealthy mystery novelist. He has died just after his 85th birthday party. The police come and they think his death is a suicide, but private detective Benoit Blanc has been hired to investigate. And let me tell you, he plinks on those keyboards.
God, that part was cringe.
When he's plinking on the keyboard to be like, "That's a lie," that's a bad impression. That felt very House.
Like The Doctor?
Yes.
Oh,
Very
I never
like,
watched that show.
Oh,
But I'll take your word for it.
It's like, oh, this guy is so smart and so cool and so mysterious. He can just plink on a keyboard. He's above us all, man.
Yep.
Good. I'm happy that's how you felt too.
I did not feel that way. I'm just trying to support you.
Anna will sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the time, after I say a really stupid joke, she will laugh. Not because it's funny, but I'll just get upset if she doesn't. Upset and like, I'll just get sad. I know. And I'll stop.
You just cry?
Well, also, if she doesn't react, I'll dig deeper and it just gets worse.
Oh, God, Dan.
Yeah.
No. God, please, no.
Hey, that
Save her.
first rule of improv, always dig deeper.
No. Oh, God, I'm fighting for my life.
So Benoit Blanc learns that Christopher Plummer had a strained relationship with his family, and the only one that he had a good relationship with was his nurse, Marta Cabrera, played by Ana de Armas.
Gage's girlfriend, Ana de Armas.
I had no idea who Ana de Armas was when I saw this movie.
Neither did I, but Gage was like, she's so gorgeous. I was like, oh, okay, go off.
She is. It's interesting. I mean, she is super beautiful, but in this movie, she is made up to be very plain.
Yeah, she just looks like a normal person in this movie.
And it's kind of funny that Gage. I assume he said that after he saw the movie, and I was like, huh. Well, we know it's true love.
Mm-hmm. He loves a plain woman. Oh, Lord.
Well, how do you travel together?
Is it because I'm...
No, with all the flight attendants.
What?
He loves a plain woman.
Oh, my God. I'm hanging up.
See, now that's a joke that Anna would laugh at to placate me, and so I would stop.
And that's why she's marrying you and I'm not, because I'm just going to go, what the frick?
So, Marta, she thinks that she mixed up his medications after the party.
That part was really traumatizing and sad.
Yes, she caused him to overdose on morphine and can't find the antidote. I don't know what the antidote to morphine is. Apparently, it's Narcan.
I mean, that makes kind of sense. Like, you know.
That's because morphine is an opioid, which...
Oh, shit, really?
Well, it's an opiate, which is different than opioids in chemical something. I don't know. Morphine's natural. Mm-hmm. I'm not a pharmacist. I can't tell you.
I would say, tell me about when you got your pharmacy degree, Dr. Dan.
I don't know if pharmacists can call themselves doctors.
I thought they were doctors.
Are pharmacists doctors? They have a PharmD degree. So they're not MDs or dentists.
But they're still doctors.
But they are doctors.
They're just not medical doctors. My brain is sore.
Are you smelling toast?
No. I'm not having a stroke.
That's good.
My brain is just sore.
You can never be too sure.
You know, I used to think that the symptom for smelling or for having a stroke was smelling ham. Anyway, let's press on.
I don't think that strokes are properly named. That's not a scary enough name.
No, it should be like partial brain death.
Yeah. Stroke sounds like whoopsie daisy, he had a bad day on the golf course. Shut up.
I slipped. Yeah.
No. Call it internal head decay.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
I hated that.
So Marta has this thing where she can't lie, because if she does, she'll vomit.
Fucking mood.
I don't have that.
Oh. I don't throw up, but I can't lie.
You're an actor.
About it. Well, that's different. Like, lying on stage versus, like, lying to my family. It's different.
At some point when I was a kid, I reached a point where I was like, if I keep my lies self-contained, no one's going to know.
Then it's not a lie. It's just a secret.
Well, no, I just don't involve other people in the lies. Or I don't involve...
Oh.
I don't lie about things that can be easily checked. A lot of the times,
I don't know.
people would ask why, and that's where you could lie. Mm-hmm. Or like, you're sitting on a train, and your seat's reclined, and the person behind you's like, hey, could you lift your seat up? And I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't even realize it was reclined. I knew it was reclined.
Dan.
I didn't want them to hate me.
Dan, that's evil.
Is it? They don't know.
Yes. Oh, God.
It's a lie to myself.
Wow, you're truly nefarious.
Yes. So then Marta helps Benoit complete his own investigation of the house, going around muddying up tracks, even though they find tracks in the mud, messing up the investigation, trying to cover her own tracks using her false alibi. Also, Harlan's, not only does he overdose, he slits his own throat.
Pretty fucking traumatic,
Yeah.
if you ask me. Sorry, that sounded bad. I just meant, like, for the I don't know.
So there is then a reading of his will.
Oh my god, this part had me screaming too, because it was so predictable when it happened.
Yeah. And beforehand, the family's all talking about, oh, we love Marta. She's, like, part of the family. And then
Yeah, Michael Shannon's character even offered to, like, pay to take care of her and her family, like, all that good stuff.
But then she's the sole beneficiary. And now
Period.
they're
Get
upset.
that bag, Marta. Because they all suck ass.
Yeah. Of course they all suck ass.
They're all mean and horrible people.
Yeah. One of them's a Nazi.
Well, yes, but I was referring specifically to the adults. Like,
Yes.
the kids weren't going to necessarily get the money right away anyway. So while, yes, it is horrible that he's a Nazi, I was referring specifically to the adults who are benefiting from the money and how greedy they are.
Yeah, and they're, like, Toni Collette is all... They're all different shades of annoying, greedy, mean, awful people. And Toni Collette's character is like, we need to save the earth, blah, blah, blah. Like the limousine liberal one.
Oh, yeah, it was giving Gwyneth Paltrow.
You can just say it's giving goop.
You're right. Sorry, it's giving goop.
By the way, if your body is at any point giving goop, you should probably see a doctor. Because
You should get that checked out.
it's probably pus.
Ew, that's literally so gross. I'm gonna start saying that. It's giving goop. I hate it. I love it.
You're going to go to the dermatologist and be like, so why are you here today? My face, it's just giving goop.
They'd be like, oh, yep.
As
Got it.
They're going to be walking you down the hallway, and they'll hear you say that and be like, oh, okay. And then they'll just push you into a trash can.
Literally. They'll be like, she's fucking gross.
So the family is trying to get Marta to sign over the will to them, blah, blah, blah. And guess who shows up?
Who?
Chris Evans. Ransom.
He's such a pee-pee poo-poo head in this movie. I couldn't stand him, but I was like kind of turned on. You know what I mean? Like, I was kind of like, ugh, he sucks. And I was also like...
He's got the confidence of an early 2000s pickup artist.
Oh, God. Gross and a half.
I'm in. I'm all in on them.
Dan was immediately horny.
Yeah. Right when he pulls that trick on her with the bowl of chili and gets her to spill the beans
Evil.
to stop her from spilling the beans. I'm like, spit in
He
my
looked
face.
so good doing it. Like, that's the problem, you know?
This movie did so much for sweaters. For that Irish knit sweater.
I literally said to Gage, I was like, man, I remember when this movie came out and all the bitches were thirsting over a good cable knit.
Anna got me a cable knit Irish sweater for Christmas that year because of this movie.
She was pretending you were Chris Evans. I'm sorry.
I know, and she's upset that I don't wear it. 1, it's very nice. 2, we live in Los Angeles. 3, I don't like wearing very large clothes because they make me feel fat.
What? Really? I have the opposite, but that's just me.
Because whenever I'm in clothes, and I do this, whenever I'm walking past any sort of reflective thing, I'm always looking at myself in it.
Oh my god, mood.
Because
Are we about to talk about our body image issues? I can't wait.
But I never see myself under the clothes. I just assume I am as big as the clothes that I'm wearing, and I'm like, oh God, what is that thing?
Meanwhile, I'm like, man, I have to cover my repulsive body. I love getting on the podcast and discussing our deep-seated issues, Dan.
Yes. Anyway, Knives Out. So yeah, he helps Marta escape, but then it makes her eat a bunch of food and then confess, because otherwise she'll start puking up in public. And he offers to help her if he gets some of the inheritance.
Disgusting.
And then Marta receives a blackmail note because she killed him. Because part of the thing, you're not allowed to keep the inheritance if you killed the person. That's a law.
That is a law.
So if Marta did in fact kill him, she's got to give it up, and then the family gets it, and we don't want that, because them bitches.
Yep. One thing I liked about this movie, side note, is that the mystery was already solved on our end, you know? Like, we knew who killed Harlem. But nobody, I don't know, I just thought that was
What's his name?
Harlan?
Harlan.
I wanted it to be Harmon, because that's one of my favorites, but can't win them all, I guess.
Harlem is a neighborhood
Yeah.
in Manhattan.
Thought maybe he was also named that.
And wait, you wanted to be Harmon?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It's your favorite name?
Not my favorite name, period. It's just a name I really like, I should say.
Oh. Well, if his name is
Don't
Harmon...
say, oh!
I don't like that name.
Well, it's not your child in my mind.
If you name your kid Harmon, their middle name has to start with an E.
Why?
Harmony.
Miss me with that. Absolutely not.
Why? What? You're not gonna name your kid Harmon Elizabethtown.
I'm telling you right now that if you and I were in one of those classes where you had to parent a fake baby, we wouldn't have made it past the naming phase.
No. Because I would have wanted
been
to name the
bickering.
fake baby something stupid.
I know you would have, and we would have gotten F.
Like, what would be a good... What material is this fake baby?
Plastic.
Okay, so it's a baby doll. It's not like a bag of flour.
We're past the days of a bag of flour, baby.
That's too dangerous. Because then people
Now
have
we got-
proof if you're stabbing your baby.
Oh my god.
Well, they
Now we
do.
got the ones that cry.
Talking Tina cries and shits, and you can't stop
Yep.
her.
Nope.
I'm still trying to think of what stupid name I would have. Or I would have... Because we never did that sort of project.
I didn't take that class because I was a babysitter in the summer for some really naughty kids, and I was like, forget it.
Like Lance?
That's a man's name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are babies not soon to be men or women?
No.
Fine. Starbuck.
Period. Done. Let's get this A, Dan.
So Marta goes to the medical examiner's office with Ransom, but it was burned down.
Everyone's gasping. The pearls are clutched.
And Ransom gets arrested after a car chase.
Because he's shady as fuck.
At the rendezvous point with this blackmailer, she finds Fran drugged in this abandoned laundromat that they were having their rendezvous in.
Fran's like the housekeeper, right?
Yeah, she's the one who walked in and saw his body at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And meanwhile, as all this is happening, as Fran is drugged and she's performing CPR on her, Daniel Craig is listening to his iPod in the car,
As one does.
jamming out, having a great time.
We love juxtaposition.
And then she confesses. So, the inheritance is invalidated.
Yeah.
But then,
Well,
guess what?
what, Dan?
It's the big explanation scene.
We love a big explanation scene. This is what I'm fucking waiting for the whole time.
Now,
I'm sitting
I
there-
do declare
What? Foghorn Leghorn?
I do declare that there has been a murder in this household, and it has been performed by one of these all of these family members because you suck.
When I was in Tennessee, I had to restrain myself from quoting my favorite King of the Hill line, which is, "Somebody crack a window, this wildflower is wilting."
My maybe the only King of the Hill quote that I know. I don't even know if it's a real quote or not. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
Amen.
I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Bobby? Here's the explanation. The full toxicology report. Harlan only had a small amount of morphine in his system. Harlan had told Ransom of what he intended to put in the will, and then Ransom had switched the medicines to ensure that Marta would be the killer and ineligible for the inheritance. But then Marta gave him the correct meds because she knew the difference. She's a nurse. She knows by weight. And she thought that she poisoned him after she had read the label. And then when the death was being reported as a suicide, Ransom hired Benoit Blanc to expose Marta. Fran saw him tampering with the crime scene, sent him the blackmail note, not Marta. But Ransom realized that Marta wasn't responsible for his death, but Marta thought she was, so she forwarded the letter and then burned down the medical examiner's office to destroy the evidence, and then OD'd Fran with morphine, intending to get Marta caught with Fran's corpse. But Fran is alive. The hospital has called and says that they will implicate Ransom.
Amazing.
But not done yet. He scoffs. His lawyers will help him get out with just arson and attempted murder. It's light. Marta then pukes on him. Fran is dead.
Amazing. That scene, that twist had me...
And he has confessed to murder.
Shook. Immediately shook.
Everything is recorded. He goes to attack Marta with one of Harlan's knives, but it's a stage knife.
That part I predicted. I was like, that's a stage knife. Ain't no way she's about to die right now. And Gage was like, I don't know. And I was like, no, it's a fucking stage knife. Don't play these games with me. And I was right, bitch.
And then as Ransom goes into custody, the rest of the family stands outside, and Marta stands on the balcony drinking her coffee from her mug that says, "My house, my rules."
I loved that part. That part was everything to me. I also loved the part earlier in the movie where her sister just goes, "Marta, wake up, are we rich?"
Yeah.
Over and over again. I was like, iconic. I love that that's her first thought.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be yours?
I mean, I suppose, but it just made me laugh. Just, Marta, are we rich? Wake up.
Stop sleeping. We have money to take.
Spend. Oh.
Keep. Throw. I need to throw nickels
Burn.
at passing children.
Literally. I need to wipe my tears with some $100 bills.
So that's Knives Out. What do you think?
I liked it a lot. I think for me the saddest part was how Marta was still willing to help so many members of the family and they just kept treating her like shit.
Yes.
That made me sad. Other than that, loved it. How about you?
I liked it a lot too. Like I said, I've seen it before, and we'll definitely talk about this more when we talk about Glass Onion. But this is very much a fall movie, and Glass Onion is very much a spring movie.
Is it because of the outfits?
It's because of the everything. It's also set in fall. They're in New England.
That's true. I guess I didn't even think about that.
But I enjoy it. I think it's very fun. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. I like it. I like this whodunit thing. Rian Johnson is very good at making these. If you haven't seen Poker Face, you should watch Poker Face.
Is that a
It is a show on the cock.
mystery? Dan? I'm gonna have to ask you to never speak to me again.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't like me referring to the best streaming service as the cock?
Please stop. I hate it so much. It's so gross.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
What are you watching? Oh, I'm just watching Poker Face on Piss Stick.
Excuse me?
You were what? Yeah, I just use synonyms, man.
What is going on? Please.
My favorite streaming service, Piss Stick. The only home to watch Tar.
Gage saw that pop up the other day, and he was like, "Oh, look what it is, Tar." And I was like, "Absolutely not." Because I was watching Shiny Happy People.
Okay. What is that? I know it's a song.
Oh, it's a documentary about the Duggars.
Oh, gross.
I'm living and dying for it, honestly.
I'm sure. I just think it's so funny that Peacock, which is the funniest major streaming service out of all of them, the one where you can watch The Real Housewives and the WWE, that's where the critically acclaimed Academy Award nominated film Tar goes to stream.
I mean, that's just how it is, Dan. I don't know what to tell you.
So funny.
Never forget, what was it that they did at Halloween? That was like so...
HBO Max is the one that did the It doors for Halloween.
That was very cool. I liked that. No, but Peacock did something so stupid. They like changed their name to like Hallow Peacock or something. I can't remember.
I have no memory of this at all.
Maybe I was having... It was when I had COVID, so maybe I was just having a fever dream.
Maybe this didn't happen.
Maybe I was just sick.
Peacocktober.
That's what it was. Gross. Respectfully, I hate it.
Cocktober.
Ew. This is like when Harry Styles had Harry Ween, and nobody thought it was funny except for me.
How have I never heard about that?
I was literally like, nobody else is laughing over Harry Ween, and everybody else is taking it very seriously. And I was like, Anyway.
I have some trivia for you.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
So Jamie Lee Curtis, when her dad, Tony Curtis, the actor, died in 2010, she and her siblings found out afterwards that he had changed his will and disinherited all his children.
Oh, fuck.
So...
That's probably triggering for her.
Very, very similar to this. The three... What just happened?
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you on Instagram? To a text and it opened Facebook. Anyway...
Ana de Armas is the fourth billed actor.
Really? But she was like the lead in... Well, she wasn't very famous at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Toni Collette had a super bad fake tan.
Yeah.
To make her character just look even worse.
It worked.
And she had Botox face makeup.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
You know, like an aggressive Botoxed face looks like.
Oh, yes, I do know what that is.
Rian Johnson found out that Apple has a rule that villains are not allowed to use iPhones on camera. Which is a rule.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, now that you mention it.
So, Jake...
That's so random.
The phone that the Nazi boy who masturbates under the stairs uses... You don't see what it is, but it's probably an iPhone.
Yeah.
When I saw Dear Evan Hansen, I noticed that other characters were using Apple laptops, but Evan Hansen used a Dell.
Really?
Because
I
he's
never
the
watched
villain.
that movie.
It's horrible.
Oh, God, I couldn't do it. Like, it should never have been made.
I think the worst part of it all is that he has a Ben Folds poster on his bedroom wall.
Oh.
And I saw myself reflected in him.
Yeah? Is
and
that you? Dear Dan O'Keefe.
I'm waving through the window.
That's the wrong
I'm in
song,
high school and
yes.
I'm 25.
Literally. God, I got beef with Ben Platt right now.
Why?
Because I didn't like his Tony performance.
Oh, I didn't watch the Tonys.
Oh, I just watched some of the videos. I just didn't like his Tony performance. That's literally all.
I have a new stage name.
What is it?
Tony Performance.
Oh, that's a good
Drag name.
drag name. Yeah.
Catch
I
me
love
at your
that.
local drag brunch.
Okay, period. I'll see you there. It's me, Brandy Old Fashioned.
The actor who plays the lawyer reading out the will, that's Frank Oz.
Okay.
A puppeteer who is the voice
Okay.
of Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Animal, Sam
Thank
Eagle,
you. You needed
Cookie
to say-
Monster,
you-
Bert, Grover, and Yoda.
You just named 3 of my favorites. Can you guess what they are?
Miss Piggy. Cookie Monster. Bert.
No, it's Sam Eagle.
Sam Eagle.
I love Sam Eagle. He's camp.
Sam Eagle's a fascist.
I don't really
Where
like
was
the
Sam
tone that
Eagle
you're
on
taking
January
right now.
6th?
Don't say that.
He was with
No.
the guy from Bob's Burgers, both getting arrested.
No. Sam Eagle was probably like, this isn't my America. My Sam Eagle would never have stormed the Capitol. I'm crying. I'm literally gonna go cry.
Chris Evans rarely plays a villain. In fact, this is like the only movie that I can think about where he is the villain.
I was literally saying to Gage, he doesn't strike me as the villain type.
He's too cute.
Yeah, he's got a soft face.
One of the cops is played by Noah Segan, who has been in every Rian Johnson movie.
Okay.
In Glass Onion, we will talk about him. He's in Poker. He's in every Ryan. He's in The Last Jedi. He's in everything.
Good for him. Employed.
This was the first movie. This is considered Ana de Armas's star-making role. Because
Yeah.
before this, she was in Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
Where she was a hologram. And then after this, she was in No Time to Die, and then Blonde.
Gage wants to see Blonde. We haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I don't. Not interested.
Well, Gage just likes Ana de Armas, so I can't say I blame him. He sat through plenty bad movies with me.
This is bad in a different way. I don't want to spoil anything about it, but there's
Uh-oh, now I'm
some
nervous.
weird shit in it.
Ruh-roh. Okay, I'll let you know how it goes.
Michael Shannon improvised his lines, "I will not eat one iota of shit."
I love
and
him.
Maybe Harlan left you a cold glass of milk in his will.
I love him so much.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie. Do you know where?
What? No, he isn't even. Where?
When Marta's mom and sister are watching TV,
Uh-huh.
the voice of the detective on screen is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What the fuck?
That's
That's
it.
so random.
Well, because he's also in every Rian Johnson movie.
Good for him.
Because he was the main character in Brick. And then he is basically just shown up. In Glass Onion, he's the voice of the Dong.
Really?
Mhm.
What the fuck? My brain is sore.
And then Benoit Blanc's southern accent in the script is described as subtle.
It's not doing subtle.
No, it's better. It's better this way.
I think so too. It makes me want a nice, like, brandy.
Ransom was originally yelling "fuck you" to his family instead of "eat shit,"
Oh.
but that would have
Why was
gotten
it
an R
changed?
rating.
True. Okay.
And that's the trivia. So my question. On a scale of 1 to 5 iotas of shit, What do you give this movie?
4 iotas of shit.
Oh.
Because I really liked it, but I have already seen Glass Onion, and I know for a fact that I like Glass Onion better.
Yeah. Fair.
So.
I'm same boat. Also 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. But it's a great movie.
It is. It's very fun. I think I want to look through and see where I ranked it in my 2019 movies. But I think I had it in my top 10.
I can't wait to hear where it lands, honestly.
Let's see. In 2019, I had Knives Out as my 9th favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the top 8 were?
I am sure number 1 was Hollywood.
You're correct.
Ahead.
But so I'm going to go 8-1. In 8th, I have Jojo Rabbit, which I'm reconsidering.
Oh, shoot. I haven't even seen that movie, and I really want to.
In 7th, I have The Irishman.
Are you fucking kidding me?
In 6th, I have Marriage Story.
What is wrong with you? Are you sick?
In 5th, Ford versus Ferrari.
Are you old?
In 4th, 1917. I never want to watch 1917 again, but I loved it in a theater.
Why'd you rank it so high?
Because I love spectacle. I love movies that make the most of being on the biggest screen possible.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
I saw Ford versus Ferrari and 1917 in IMAX. They were great. Shaking.
Okay.
Number 3 was Parasite. Number 2 was Unca Gems. And then
Unca Gems?
Unca Gems. And then number 1 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow. Okay.
Would Knives Out be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as Ransom?
Better, because I'd believe him as a villain more. I just can't believe, he's just too gentle. I don't know how to explain it. Like he's always nice. I don't know. It's just not giving.
It's taking.
It's taking.
Better, worse, or the same with Jimmy Stewart as Benoit Blanc.
Oh.
Now, I spoke in the car about the hole in the center of this donut. And yes, what you and Harlan did that fateful night seems at first glance to fill the hole perfectly. A donut hole in a donut's hole. But we must look a little closer. And you can fill my donut's hole. And when we do, we see that the donut hole has a hole in its center. It's not a donut hole at all, but a smaller donut with its own hole. And our donut is not whole at all. I just found the longest quote I could.
Thank you so much for doing that. It was exhausting.
It'd be the same.
Oh
I think you just need anyone to be over the top.
I think so too. As long as everyone is still being camp, it'll be fine.
That's it for this week's episode then.
We did it, guys.
We did it. Next week. In hopes next. No, I was saying next week in hopes next week.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Well, we'll see. It's more your schedule this time than mine.
Yeah. We'll probably be back next week.
Okay, good for us.
Yay!
Honestly, amazing.
And we'll definitely be talking about Glass Onion.
Woo.
Yeah, so in the meantime, get excited for that. If you want to find us on social media, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and In Conclusion, on Instagram at In Conclusion Podcast, on Patreon at patreon.com/In Conclusion. I am on Twitter at Dan O'Keefe86 and on TikTok at Not Dan O'Keefe. Anna, where are you?
I'm in my office, probably going to get yelled at by my neighbors for talking too loud.
You are screaming. You are
Literally.
shouting at the top of your lungs.
You know me. Nothing but loud all the time. You can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll, and the O in Out are zeros. And please go ahead and follow my sweet Pupperino. I hated myself for saying that.
Yeah,
but I
you
said
should.
It anyway.
You should. It's a
My
good thing
sweet
you're on the
little
bottom
baby
floor
stink.
of your building, because I would say jump out.
Yeah. I mean, if I jumped out now, I would just, land
Land on a bush.
on my feet. Yep, pretty much. I might, like, twist my ankle, but that's it. Her handle is Jester the Pup 1017. Okay, thanks, bye.
That's it for this week's In Conclusion. We'll be back next week with Glass Onion. In the meantime, everybody stay safe and have fun. Bye-bye!
Bye! Oh, God, I need an adult. That was alarming. I hated that. Thank you so much. I hated it.
A Creative Land podcast.